This National RTAP in the Cloud training tutorial focuses on block ID. And block ID, while it is optional data, it links the driver paddle to GTFS. It also allows the rider to stay in their seat. So in this example of a trip plan, the rider starts out on the 35, they get to the transfer center, they are then on a 32, a 44, a 90, and ultimately make one more transfer to the 92 to their destination. While this information may be helpful to the rider, it is not required, it is optional. The data itself is entered into the Schedules V3 tab of the Schedules workbook in the same cell as the shape ID. So the syntax is shape_ID :block_ID, and we'll show you a sample of that in a moment. It's published from the Trips tab, and it is very important that if your times overlap using block ID, your data will not validate. If you're aware that it's in the Trips tab and you go to the Notes tab of the Import-Export workbook, and in this Notes tab you select the Trips tab, you will jump to the specification that allows you to read the details in the specification for block ID and see some examples. So for this example in the data of block ID, we're in the Schedules V3 tab, and we're now assigning here the shape ID :block ID. And if we go to WS2AM, we can see the trip at 5 a.m. that arrives at 5:15, and we can see the link between this data, WS2AM, and our tab that manages the daily paddle, and that's why we're using this as our block ID. Block ID is published in the Trips tab, so when you want to reconfirm that your block ID is appropriately splitting out from the shape ID, look inside the Trip tab after you generate your data. Our important warning about any overlapping times will not allow you to validate your data needs to be emphasized, so choose to use block ID if you're interested in that stay in seat function. Reach out to us if additional questions come up. Support@nationalrtap.org. Thank you for your interest in GTFS Builder.